Now that we've got your attention, let the games begin! Game cartridges assembling. Greetings. Game loading. Mind your fingers. Keep working, you rust buckets. Uh-oh. Ah, that's just great. Megabytes, terabytes, downbytes, gigabytes. First game up, Haunted House Party.
Good evening and welcome to the Haunted House Party, where tonight we have an especially dead mystery guest. As always, it will be up to you to appraise the clues and hypothesize just who our mystery guest is. And as she approaches, I implore you to do your work quickly, as we here at the Haunted House have a rather strict deadline.
Good evening, my fellow travelers.
May I take your aviator's cap, madame?
Thank you, no. I can never be too sure when I have to take off. Besides, my hair is a mess.
Excuse me, but I didn't see your car outside.
That's because I didn't drive here. I flew.
In a plane?
No, on a broom. Of course, in a plane.
Sorry, I've just never met a female pilot. You must have been quite a role model for women in your time.
Well, now, I don't like to blow my own horn, but I was a strong crusader for total equality and opportunities for women in the 20s and 30s. In fact, I was the first woman to fly across the Atlantic.
Atlantic City?
Ocean, Atlantic Ocean. And I was the first person, man or woman, to fly across the Atlantic Ocean twice. I had to. I forgot to turn off the stove.
Wasn't that boring?
At times. So for a change, I gave the Pacific a shot and became the first person to fly from Hawaii to the U.S. mainland.
Did you fly back?
To Hawaii? Who can afford it?
What was your longest flight?
Well, besides getting here, I would say it was my attempt to fly around the world.
Oh, that must have been exciting.
Well, it would have been, except for one thing. I never made it, and no one ever heard from me again. To this day, it's one of history's greatest mysteries. All anyone knows for sure is that I was...
Hold it one moment, young lady. Our friends at home get first crack at digging up your identity. Here are the harrowing clues. She was a pilot, the first woman to fly across the Atlantic Ocean and Hawaii to the U.S. She was an advocate for women's rights and was also the first person to fly across the Atlantic twice. Unfortunately, she was lost when attempting a round-the-world flight. The mysterious mystery guest is...
Amelia Earhart, history's first great female pilot.
And I could have been a great pilot too, if it weren't for the fact that I'm afraid to fly. Tune in again next time when you're all invited to the Haunted House Party.
Next game coming up. Greetings. Game time. Captain Bones.
Ahoy, matey! Shiver me timbers! Yo ho ho! Look alive, ye lollygaggers! I'm the incredibly dead Captain Bones. I've been sailing the seven seas for an eternity, and I'll tell ya, I'm a bored stiff. The only thing that saves me from going stark raving mad is making up math puzzles using nothing but me own bones. Now watch closely and just do as I say, or I'll surprise the life out of ye. Just watch me bones. Let me show you what I mean. Here's a picture of a salty dog. If you think you can draw any better, put your bones where your mouth is. Now, supposing I were to ask you to move but one of me bones so that the dog faces the opposite direction. Could you do it without me help? I should hope so. You piccolo playing prancers. There she blows! You see? There weren't nothing to it. Here it is again, 'cause you probably missed it the first time. Now, don't be thinking this is gonna be a pleasure cruise, you shrinking violets. You're to puzzle this one out without me help. But first, let me shovel up me bones. All I'm asking is for you to take away 2 of me bones, so 2 squares are left behind. Now, get to work before I tie you to the yardarm. Where is it? Yo ho ho, the bottle. Anything to get me out of here. All right, here's a clue for you, you petticoat-wearing sallies. There are 4 solutions to me puzzle, not just one. Need more of me help? Well, I never said the 2 squares needed to be the same size now, did I? When the smoke clears, 1 square will be found inside the other. Stop! Stop! I can take no more of your thumb-twiddling nonsense. Here! There! The answer was staring you right in the face, you patty cake playing owners of wee small chihuahuas. Let me show you again. Maybe next time I'll ask you to do something easier, like tie your shoes. After all, I wouldn't want to hurt your feelings, little Miss Sensitive. Arr!
More stuff. Work, work, work. Game time in 10 seconds. Next game up. Mug shots.
My name's Verity. I bust bad guys. You want to help? Come on in. We got 4 suspects pinned down. 3 of them are guilty. Listen to their stories and spot the mistakes. The ones that lie did the crime. Today, we're interviewing the Peoria Petunias semi-pro baseball team. Seems 3 of them stole some nickels from the bat boy yesterday. Remember, only one of these mugs is telling the truth. The other 3 are lying. First to bat, Beanball Baloo.
I was home all day yesterday, reading a book about the first Russians to land on the moon.
What do you think? Have the Russians landed on the moon? Let's move on to the pitcher, Spitter Sykes.
I'm innocent, I swear it. I was serving some Great Lakes saltwater taffy to some friends.
I wouldn't accept taffy from this guy if I had gloves on. But what do you think? Are the Great Lakes filled with salt water? Now it's Lumberjack Lang's turn to swing. Sing.
You're pitching to the wrong slugger, Verity. I wasn't even in town yesterday. I was visiting my sick grandmother in Tallahassee. That's Tallahassee, Florida, the state capital.
Tallahassee's the capital of Florida, eh? Finally, there's Edgardo Polonia, the Petunias manager.
It wasn't me, Verity. I was caught up in trade talks yesterday. My neck's still stiff from using the telephone all day. You know, that thing invented by Edison?
Is Polonia full of bologna? You tell me. Did Edison invent the telephone? Well, just like I figured, each criminal all but confessed. Did you spot the mistakes?
I was reading about the first Russians to land on the moon.
I hope they've got better books in prison, 'cause that's where Baloo's heading. No Russians have been to the moon.
I was serving some Great Lakes saltwater taffy to some friends.
Sykes was stretching the truth a bit too far with that taffy story. The Great Lakes are freshwater lakes, not saltwater.
The telephone? You know, that thing invented by Edison?
I hope he's still got that phone, 'cause he's gonna have to use it to call his lawyer. Edison didn't invent the telephone. Alexander Graham Bell did.
I was in Tallahassee visiting my sick grandma. That's Tallahassee, Florida, the state capital.
Lumberjack's smarter than he looks. Tallahassee is the capital of Florida. His grandma should be proud. And about 6'6" by the look of things.
Next game coming up. Game cartridge loading. Check. Distraction news on the air in 3, 2, 1.
And now, Distraction News with your anchor person, Dora Smarmy.
Good evening. I'm Dora Smarmy, and welcome to Distraction News, where we give you the news and then ask you 5 questions about what we've just reported. So make sure you're not distracted. Now, for our top story today, submarines. A submarine is a ship that travels underwater. They are tube-shaped so that they can move swiftly through the water. Early subs had to surface every few hours to get air for the crew and for the engines. Modern subs can produce air by using electricity to get oxygen from seawater. When the crew wants to make the submarine dive, the ballast tanks at the rear and the front are flooded with seawater, giving the sub weight and allowing it to sink. Then, the diving fins are tilted down. To resurface quickly, the tanks are flushed out with compressed air. To climb slowly, the diving fins are tilted upwards and the sub glides towards the surface. Submarines have a very strong shell to keep from being crushed by underwater pressure. The hull is often made of steel or titanium. Some U.S. subs will patrol for 60 days at a time, sometimes never even surfacing. Okay, so man your periscopes and let's see how well you were able to remember the facts. Why are submarines tube-shaped? To move swiftly through water, because sailors love cigars, or it's a pretty shape. The answer is to move swiftly through water. Modern subs get oxygen from where? Trees grown inside the sub? Seawater? Or a really big snorkel? The answer is seawater. What happens when the submarine tanks are filled with water? The sailors all take baths, they use it for aquariums, or the submarine sinks. The answer is the submarine sinks. When the tanks are flushed out quickly, the sub does what? Explodes, makes a gassy sound like your Uncle Charlie, or resurfaces quickly. The correct answer is resurfaces quickly. And finally, why do submarines have a strong shell? To keep fish out? To protect its soft, chewy center? Or to keep it from being crushed by the water pressure? The answer is to keep it from being crushed by the water pressure. Well, that story was quite deep, didn't you think? And there was simply oceans of information. Okay, not oceans, but a lot. Enough to fill a ballast tank. Anyway, I guess that's all the time we have for today, but remember, don't ever let anything distract you from watching Distraction News. So long.
This has been Distraction News with your favorite cardboard cutout anchor person, Dora Smarmy.
No, wait, you're right. Left. Okay, right there. Hold it. Excuse me. I don't have all day. Hello? Excuse me?
your old pal Eddie Bull here at the exciting Walla Walla Washington Zoo. This week we're going to...
He's edible, he really is incredible. He's simply the best of the bunch. There's simply no disguising that he's so appetizing that we want him for our lunch.
Oh, jeez, just great. Once again, I'm smorgasbord for some ravenous beast. I just don't know which one. So you think you can figure out which it is? That way, maybe I can find my way out of here. I'd do it myself, but as you can see, I'm kind of consumed with being consumed. Okay, everybody, here's your first clue. This animal can change its skin tone to camouflage itself, which means it could be in the room with you right now, and you wouldn't even know it. Okay, although it can be large, it has no backbone or skeleton, which means it can squeeze through tiny holes. So if I were you, I'd keep my ears covered. Okay, here's the next one. For protection, it can create a smoke screen of ink, although it doesn't own a single pin. One last clue. Its name means 8 feet. So I wouldn't want to get into a kickboxing match. You got it? Of course you do. It's the octopus. Which means it can camouflage itself by changing skin tone. It has no backbone or skeleton, like my agent. It shoots a smokescreen of ink, and its name means 8 feet. Oh, looks like I'm out of here.
Eddie Bull, he's edible, he really is incredible. That we want him for our lunch.
Professor Rocket, and it's time to put your calculation cap on and play Psycho Math. Whoa, yeah! I know I'm insane in the membrane. Okay, here's how Psycho Math works. I'm gonna show you equations, but I'll be using pictures and things, and you got to figure out what they stand for. Then you just have to do the math. Now let's start with the number of years in a millennium. Then add it to the number of legs on a flamingo. Now you divide it by the number of states that don't touch any other states. You got the answer? Okay, you take the 1,000 years in a millennium plus the 2 legs on a flamingo. And then divide it by the 2 states, Hawaii and Alaska, that don't touch any other states. And the answer is 501. That's 501. That's one mighty fine number. Hang on, because another one is coming at you. How many horns does a rhinoceros have? Plus the number that Independence Day falls on. Then take away the number of senses that humans have. Of course, I am not counting ESP. Now, what does it equal? Okay, the rhinoceros only has 1 horn. Plus 4 is the number of the 4th of July. Minus the 5 senses, see, smell, taste, touch, hear, equals 0. That's C-E-R-O. That number has no magnitude of quantity. But I love it anyway. Okay, one more, because Prof Rocket's only one man. how many days are in 2 weeks. Then subtract the number of horns a triceratops has, minus the number of holes in a standard bowling ball. Now, I know you can do it. Your time's up. There are 14 days in 2 weeks, minus 3 horns on a triceratops, minus 3 holes in a bowling ball, equals 8. You got it. 8. You are great. You get it right? I know you did. Okay, that's it. I'm done with you. Professor Rocket is exhausted and has had his head exploded all night long. But that doesn't mean I won't be back, because I love Psycho Math. Professor Rocket's out of here.
That was cool. Let's play another. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's time to play 10 seconds, where you've got to read between the lines and think up the answers before time runs out. So now you know how to play. You're on your own. You got 10 seconds. The answer is chip off the old block. Next one. The answer is going online. What's next? The answer is many happy returns. You got 10 more seconds to get the next one. The answer is beating around the bush. Don't hit me. Next one. The answer is a flash in the pan. Well, that's it for now. So keep your feet on the ground and your head in the clouds until it's once more time to play 10 seconds.
It's time for Crashbox Rewind, where we flash back through the show and remind you how smart you really are.
Your time's up. There are 14 days in 2 weeks, minus 3 horns on a triceratops, minus 3 holes in a bowling ball, equals 8. You got it. 8.
It's the octopus! Which means it can camouflage itself by changing skin tone. It has no backbone or skeleton. It shoots a smokescreen of ink, and its name means 8 feet.
A submarine is a ship that travels underwater. They are tube-shaped so that they can move swiftly through the water. Early subs had to surface every few hours to get air for the crew and for the engines. Modern subs can produce air by using electricity to get oxygen from seawater.
Here are the harrowing clues. She was a pilot, the first woman to fly across the Atlantic Ocean and Hawaii to the U.S. She was an advocate for women's rights and was also the first person to fly across the Atlantic twice. Unfortunately, she was lost when attempting a round-the-world flight.
Amelia Earhart, history's first great female pilot.
Well, that's it for now. See you next time.